Hi, I'm Chris Knowlton with Wowza Media Systems. We're at InfoComm 2016 showing off a few new things, and I'd like to share those with you. Let's start off with some of our demos. Wowza Media Systems provides streaming software and cloud services, as well as a mobile encoding application and SDK. We do a lot of the streaming that folks see on the internet today, providing over 25% of the live streams that you see online. And one of the things that we do is take in a high-definition stream and transcode it, transrate it on the fly into multiple bit rates. So you can do adaptive bitrate streaming to your Xbox, your Apple devices, your desktops. It's one of the things that we're really well known for, and being able to take in multiple formats and deliver in multiple formats so that you can get any stream to any screen on the planet. From a delivery perspective, one of the things that we're talking about recently is this capability of delivering to multiple endpoints. So not just to your own website, but also to other places where your viewers want to go. So sometimes you have parents, younger generations going to Facebook or to YouTube. You can deliver to both of those now directly from the user interface within Wowza Streaming Engine and Wowza Streaming Cloud. And you can also deliver, if you are delivering large events over the internet or events within the firewall within a corporation, you can deliver using unicast and multicast. And also we have now direct integration with peer-to-peer technologies like ViBlast and StreamRit. So very easily you can get started with peer-to-peer streaming, reduce some of your content delivery network costs, or potentially replace some of those older streaming technologies that use multicast but are no longer available on the market. A lot of our work centers around developing based on APIs and SDKs. And so for both our streaming engine software and Wowza Streaming Cloud, we now have a REST API, meaning you don't have to be a Java developer or any other kind of developer like that to go ahead and build your own custom applications. You can just use direct REST APIs that most web developers are familiar with and build applications on your website that call directly into our Wowza Streaming Engine software or our Wowza Streaming Cloud delivery software and build out a really great user experience that does a lot of great things incorporating live and on-demand video. One thing that a lot of folks don't realize is that Wowza Streaming Engine can also be used for advertising. And so you can have video playing, you can have an overlay ad come up and display on the screen. You can do mid-roll ads that pop in the middle of a particular ad. Some very interesting things that you can do there, just using Qtones and ID3 tags today. We also have capability of doing network DVR, so if you're watching a live stream, as this is, you could pause it in the middle. You could do this with a game, and then start it again when you come back. From on-demand side, we also do complete on-demand streaming. One of the things that folks really like with both live and on-demand is the ability in the player to do multiple bit rates. If they have the bandwidth, they usually just put the player on auto and let it play back. We're in an InfoComm where it's a bandwidth constrained environment, so we're just playing at 720p here. But you can also do closed captioning with different languages and specify in the middle which language you'd like to show. So I can bring up a language here, and you can turn that on and off. And likewise, you could change the audio to the language of your preference here. So really nicely, very easily through the player experience, you can go ahead and experience this content using the language that you prefer, whether you use the same audio or different audio and captions so that you can actually potentially learn a different language. I'll talk just for a minute about protocols. You notice we have protocols down here. We've added some new ones. Not only do we support natively H.264 and Flash and MPEG-2, but also now H.265, the latest format that's used for creating a lot of the 4K content out there. Also VP8 and VP9, so if you're working with YouTube, some of the Google players, things like that out there, you can get those very easily now and stream natively to those using Wowza Streaming Engine. And then finally, one of the things that's getting a lot of attention at shows like this is the 360-degree streaming capability with video, creating some great virtual reality experiences using virtual reality goggles, ability to, if you're viewing through a player on a mobile device, perhaps with something like Google Cardboard, you can pop a player like this into stereo 2D mode and get that depth of field, depth perception that you like to have. So it really feels like you're there in the experience. And in this case, I'm panning and zooming around, but if you're wearing a headset or something like that, you can just turn your head left and right and feel like you're there, which is great if you're at a sporting event or at a live concert. So that's really just the sort of the short synopsis of what we're doing here with Wowza Media Systems at InfoComm 2016 and showing. We'd love to have you learn more. Please visit us at www.wowza.com.